Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we have Dr. Oliver Reid with us, and he's your solution coach, CEO, life coach, author, motivational speaker, consultant, philanthropist, entrepreneur, and trainer. And probably most important is a man in pursuit of where God is.
Yes, sir.
And so we're thankful to have him this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Man, I'm so happy, and thank you so much, Chip, for allowing me to be on. That's such a great opportunity.
Okay. Very welcome. My pleasure. Like they said, Chick-fil-A.
Right.
All right. So talk to us about your life, where you're from and how you grew up, and kind of track it up until now, if you don't mind.
Okay, great. I'm a native of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Born and raised in Charlotte, and grew up in a single-parent home. Mom was a strong force in the church, deeply rooted, spiritual person, and kept me involved in the things of God and church and spiritual, being grounded spiritually. And grew up in an impoverished neighborhood in the inner city project, Section 8, raised us. Me and my sister for 18 years in the projects. So
wow.
Everything from being homeless, sleeping in the car, to actually growing up in a low-income neighborhood. And, after that, we had a Boys and Girls Club that was across the street. And so it stresses the importance of mentorship because there were some mentors across the street at this Boys Club, coaches and basketball coaches and directors that kind of mentored us. And so I only went to college, to be honest with you, because I had a girlfriend at the time who told me, my parents said the only way you can talk to me is if you go to college.
Where do I sign up?
Right. I said, okay, let me do this thing. So I did that, and actually, went to Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, historically black college there. And from there, it's just kind of been history from there. Just went on to pursue great things, and my master's in theology, got into theology, and then my doctorate in Christian counseling. So then I started to get into coaching and a whole lot of different things. So that kind of brought me to where I am now, to writing books. I always tell people I write out of my pain, I write out of my experience. And so I've actually been able to turn those things that have been kind of low spots into high moments and share my story with the world.
Isn't it amazing how, like, when we go through those moments of, like you say, low spots, how, at the time we don't know that eventually, they're going to be, big things for us, because they'll help, other people get through the things when you tell those stories.
Yes. Yes. And it's being able to share that, and that's why I call myself the solution coach, based on so many problems I had, so I saw a problem, instead of saying, hey, let me keep that in my deck of cards, I kind of share that with the rest of the world. Married, twice, had kids, just all the different things that have occurred, the wrong and right things to do, have allowed me to kind of pursue that and put it together and just share with others.
Okay.
So I always say nothing wasted,
Nothing wasted. I love it. I like that. What are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Man, I think the greatest thing that I'm proud of is being a father. I think, that was one of the things that, coming from my childhood and not having a father and not having his presence in my life. I had a stepfather who was abusive. My father and I were estranged for 30-something years. And when we finally reconciled about in my 30s, my wife encouraged me to reach back out to him, because he reached out to my mom. And so I was like, hey, he ain't coming to me, it was all the pride and ego thing. And she was like, quit tripping, that's your father. And I'm like, that's not my father, he's a sperm donor. I'm going through all this. But I ended up reaching out to him, man. It was the greatest moment ever. We reconciled. I began to understand what had happened to him. His father had abandoned him. Said all that to retrace the steps, and I started to do that. Now, anybody watching this video, I would encourage you to retrace the steps. A lot of times we can be so judgmental until we understand the context of where that person is. It doesn't excuse that person, but it allowed me to appreciate my fatherhood. And we reconciled, and unfortunately he was murdered shortly after that. So I was happy that I made peace with him. And that's why I say you can't hold grudges. I was so happy that I listened. and we reconciled. So that led me to even appreciate a deeper appreciation of being a father to my kids.
There it
So
is.
that's one. The second thing is being able to be a man of God, not perfect, not flaws and all those different things that I did, but just being a man of integrity to kind of go out and empower other people through my work, being a CEO of a nonprofit that helps homeless families throughout Northern Virginia. From that to actually being able to get out on the block and talk to people, to write and inspire, and be an author. So that was a combination of two things, to really just be a solution coach to other people and to write books and that go international. I've been international to different countries and see that it's been, this kid from the projects, and I never would have thought, hey, I'm talking to, 5,000 people, 20,000 people to one person. God has brought so many opportunities that I've taken my pain and said, hey, let me milk that crisis. And I always say that M is for that message, that I is for implementation, that L is for leadership, and that K is for knowledge. So when you milk that crisis, anything you put those things in those components, those are the three things I'm proud of. And to be a husband.
All right. Milk your crisis. Love it, man. What is your definition of success?
Oh, man, I think success is being able to be flexible in any situation you find yourself in. You can't measure success by accomplishments. And people do that all the time. I've accomplished all this stuff, so I'm successful. Successful is the willingness to get up when you've been knocked down and to see yourself selling or see yourself moving or see yourself thriving. Success is a mindset. And I always say that when you can see yourself, you can be in a hell of a lot of situations, but if you can see the glory in that situation, it's that mentality of a winner. And say, hey, I'm knocked down in the 12th round, but if I can get on the ropes and get up, I'm going to come out here successful. Even when your house burned down, you'll jump in and shout and give God glory in the ashes because you are success. And I think success is becoming that seed. When you can't kill a seed, because if you can go bankrupt, you can downsize, but if you have the seed of prosperity or the seed of success, I can plant you in another field, bro, and you will still bring a harvest. And that's why when a grinder or entrepreneur or somebody who has a great thing going on, you can't kill a dead man walking. I think success is dying to yourself and really understanding that it's not about you and it's about helping the next generation.
Man, that's so enlightening, that seed of prosperity, because regardless of your situation, and you're a true experiencer of that, and I can say, I'm some of that as well. I mean, things, when you look at your situations of things that you've gone through, you could have definitely, not been, the solution coach, definitely, what I'm saying? But you chose to, to have that seed of prosperity. And I like that. Really good points. What do you think it takes to achieve success?
Man, I think the willingness to endure, endurance to be broken, and to really be able to, I go back to something that I always say, you want to be on the other side of the equal sign. That's why I get a solution coach. You don't want to be where the problem is. You want to be on the right side. Because, one of the things I always say, man, it doesn't matter how big that equation is. I remember doing Pythagorean theorems and geometry and all this stuff. And you would do 2 or 3 sheets of paper, but it didn't matter as long as you had the answer. The answer will always outweigh or overpower the question or the problem. And so my biggest thing is that, to do that, you always got to be searching for solutions. Steve Jobs found out that, hey, I can do something paperless. Bill Gates said it. Oh, I'm going to create a paperless environment. People look at him and laugh and say, hey, how are you going to go paperless in a world of papers? But he saw a solution. If I'm able to solve this problem, then guess what? My great-great-great-grandchildren will never have to work, or if they do, they'll work for us. Jobs, if you ever saw the movie Jobs, I like what he said to his daughter. They didn't have the best relationship. He looks at his daughter and says, I'm going to put 1,000 songs in your pocket. And what he did is that's what he came up with the iPod, because he realized that his daughter was carrying around his Walkman. And he got tired of her carrying around that. So he became a solution to that problem. So it's the willingness to get in there, to struggle, fail, and be able to say, hey, I'm going to take it out the other end. And that's what it takes. And I think it's that flexibility and pliability is what you need to be successful.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Chronicles. And just a short, powerful segment. I mean, it's so much that we can all take and learn from it. And so thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you so much for having me on, Chip. And I appreciate what you're doing. It's powerful. And I pray blessings upon you and great endeavors that you continue to empower us through media and video, man. I've been watching some shows and I've been inspired by your guests and by your mission.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Success Chronicles. We'll see you next time. God bless.